Okay, Incogni versus Optery, the battle between two personal information deletion service juggernauts. Which one is better and which one should you get and why? If you're new here and have no idea what a personal data deletion service even is or why they exist, then welcome, because I'm about to explain one of the creepiest online practices that's happening today without you even knowing about it. Quick disclaimer, as always, Incogni is a product created within Surfshark and is part of the Surfshark One Plus bundle. But now, let's get into the video. If you're already familiar with the problem of data brokers, then skip this part, but if you're not, continue watching. Let's talk about information, more specifically, personal information that can be extremely sensitive, like your friend knowing your name, your age, your phone number, or where you work. That might not be much of a concern. But what about if marketing companies knew all of that information? Have you been perhaps receiving unwanted marketing calls, or maybe even scam calls, or forget calls? How about emails or text messages that you have to mark as spam every time you get one? This is just one of the results of your private information being available on the internet. Now, how in the holy mother of cows does your information end up in marketing companies' databases? Well, it doesn't happen by accident, let me tell you that. It's collected from public sources like court filings, voter registrations, and social media accounts. Once a data broker has enough data, they can build a profile on you and then sell it. And sell it they do. According to one data broker marketing study, the data broker industry was valued at $270 billion in 2024 and is expected to grow to over $400 billion by 2030. Man, like, why am I even making these videos? I should just open up my own data broker company and spend the rest of my days chilling on the beach or something. But okay, real talk. Your personal information shouldn't be up for sale, nor should it be in someone's database, which is the perfect segue to talking about personal data deletion services like Incogni and Optery. Essentially, both Incogni's and Optery's job is to scan the internet for your data and request it to be deleted. Preferably, this would be done automatically, so all you have to do is enter your data and let the service do the work for you. But let's now quickly compare Incogni and Optery. When looking at personal data deletion services, the easiest thing to compare is the total amount of data brokers that each service covers. For Incogni, the total number is over 1,400 data brokers. As for Optery, it's over 1,200. Now, the more brokers covered, the better the service will be at removing your data across the whole internet. But it's important to separate how many data brokers from that total number each service covers automatically. Key distinction there, automatically. Here the numbers do change a bit, as Incogni covers over 420 data brokers through automated removals, while Optery covers over 640. But wait, there's more. Not only is automated data broker coverage important, it's also critical what type of data brokers each service can delete data from. In case you're not aware, data brokers can be split into different types, like people search sites, marketing, risk mitigation, recruitment, and financial information data brokers. They all collect different types of data, and so if a service only deletes one type of data, you can see how that's not ideal. An analogy I've used many times before is that it would be kind of like cleaning your house, but cleaning just one room and saying that the whole house is clean. It's not. Your house is not clean at all. Okay, but seriously, Incogni really shines here as it covers all types of data brokers that we mentioned before. So be it marketing ones, people search sites, risk mitigation, recruitment, and financial information data brokers, while on the other hand, Optery only covers people search sites and marketing data brokers. So again, this might be completely fine for you if you're not on those other data brokers lists, but if you are, well, then Optery's effectiveness may be suboptimal. Of course, we also have to acknowledge that if you're only comparing automatically covered people search sites and marketing data broker numbers, then Optery does edge out Incogni, as it does cover over 640 data brokers versus Incogni's 420. But again, do take into consideration what type of data brokers are covered. I would personally always get the one that covers more types just to better clean up my overall digital footprint. Before we dig deeper into each service, let's also talk about pricing. I can only compare the prices that I have as of making of this video, so do keep that in mind. mind. Optery has 4 plans in total, including a free plan and core, extended, and ultimate plans. You can see the prices for each one now on screen. It's actually fairly unique in the personal data deletion service industry to provide a free plan, so Optery does get kudos for that. The free plan allows you to delete your data from data brokers for free, hence the plan's name, but it offers limited coverage and it still requires you to manually contact data brokers to remove data. Incogni also has 4 plans available: standard, unlimited, family, and family unlimited. The family plans allow you to add up to 5 members to delete data for, and the unlimited options offer custom data removals, which we'll talk about soon. Overall, when comparing prices for the 2 services, they end up being pretty similar, but I feel like Incogni comes out ahead overall due to its top tier plan being cheaper and even offering a family option where you can add your family members and protect their data as well, which is pretty nice. Now, as with any service, not just personal information removal services, it's important to talk about customer support, because if you ever have questions or need any sort of help in regards to the product, that's probably where you'll go first. In this category, Incogni and Optery are again very similar, as they both offer support via live chat or email if you prefer that. Though something I found was that Incogni's live chat responded to me a lot faster. It works 24/7 and I got a response in less than a minute, which was pretty fantastic. With all that out of the way, let's discuss how it feels to use both Incogni and Optery as a normal everyday user who's just trying to get their data off the internet. Starting with Incogni, signing up to the service is super easy at incogni.com, as are picking your preferred plan and creating an account. After that, you'll be prompted to enter the bare minimum personal information that Incogni can use to identify your profiles in data broker databases. This is a pretty standard practice in the personal information removal service industry, as it's really the only way for that service to know what data to look for and delete. Right after doing that, you'll be on the main Incogni dashboard screen. Here you'll see a graph that shows your data removal requests over time, so you can follow the progress as time goes on. The blue line shows how many requests are in progress, while the green one shows how many of them have been completed. Below the graph, Incogni also shows you how much time you saved, and as you can see, I've already saved over 270 hours, which is crazy. I look at that every time I come to the dashboard and I get amazed each and every time. Next to that, you'll also see how many data brokers have added you to their suppression lists. This essentially means that these brokers won't recollect your data again, because yes, some data brokers do have a habit of recollecting your data again even after they deleted it. Finally, at the very bottom, you'll also find the activity log, which just shows what Incogni has been doing to keep your data off the internet and away from those data brokers. Now, if you want even more details on what Incogni has been doing as well as following the progress, you can press on the Data Brokers tab here to see even more information. In this menu, you can review which data brokers have been compliant and which ones have collected perhaps more sensitive data and therefore marked as high severity. You can also search for specific data brokers by name and filter the list by compliance score, severity score, or status. A similar menu, but for individual requests, can also be accessed through here at the top. So overall, this is a great thing, as Incogni really allows you to go into the nitty-gritty details of how it works and to see what it is doing to delete your data from these data broker databases. If you opted for Incogni's unlimited plan, you can also access the custom removals feature again here from the top menu. To best explain this feature, if there's a website you know that has your data, but that website is not supported by Incogni's default data broker coverage, then this is where the custom removals feature comes into play. Simply put in your URL of whatever website has your data, and one of Incogni's privacy experts will start working on removing it for you. Now, as you use Incogni, Incogni will send you a privacy report to your email inbox each and every month, basically giving you a quick summary of how it's been working and telling you how many requests were sent, completed, and etc. So really, you don't have to manually go to the Incogni dashboard if you don't want to. All in all, Incogni does its job well. It has a broad data broker coverage. It gives you a transparent view of how it's removing data from data brokers, and to top it all off, it has a clean interface for easy navigation. Although again, UI can be subjective, but in my opinion, it is looking clean and it is very simple to use. Oh, and just recently, Incogni also released their mobile app, which makes reviewing your data deletion progress even easier if you want to do it through your mobile phone. Currently only available on Android, but the app is coming to iOS very, very soon. As far as using Incogni goes, that's pretty much everything you need to know. Now let's move on to talking about Optery. Just like with with Incogni, signing up was super simple. Go to optery.com, pick your preferred plan, and create an account. Here you'll need to once again enter some of your personal data like your email, state, city, date of birth, name, and so on, so that Optery can find what data needs to be deleted online. Once finished, you'll be at the Optery dashboard, and initially a scan will begin, basically looking for your information. While this is going on, you can provide even more info or edit what you've already entered in the Manage Profile section over here. Speaking of that dashboard, it gives you a lot of information right out of the box, like your coverage plan and how many profiles Optery has found or removed or is in process of removing. Now, unique to Optery is the fact that unlike other data deletion services, Optery will actually send and show you screenshots of your data from data brokers and Google search results. So this does really provide a nice level of transparency, giving you a peace of mind knowing that Optery is doing something. Though I would double check the screenshots when they come in, as well, sometimes the information can be mismatched with your actual profile. But something that I did also like is that on the same page at the bottom, Optery gives you a list of different broker sites that tend to collect information, and it also shows you which coverage plan you need to automatically have Optery delete your data from them. Let's take a step back now and again talk about how Optery having a free plan is kind of nice. It lets you try out the service completely for free, see how the dashboard looks, see how much information about you might be out there on the internet, and if you're up for it, you can manually send out requests to delete information at the cost of your own time. Of course, you still ideally want to opt for at least the entry-level paid plan for those manual requests, as that's really the whole point of having an automated personal information removal service in the first place. Back to the dashboard now. On the left-hand side, you can access the reports page. Here, as you might have guessed, you can download auto-generated reports in PDF format. Basically a compilation of the screenshots that Optery took of your potential profiles. It's nice, but again, I would just use the main dashboard screen as it provides me with that information already. So why even bother going to the reports screen? And last but not least, on the side, you can also access Optery's custom removals feature, only available with the Ultimate plan. Just like Incogni, it lets you submit a link to where your data might be exposed, or like a website URL, and have Optery delete it. It's a really good feature to have and can be really useful, protecting your privacy even further. To summarize, Optery as a whole was nice to set up and use. The service worked fine, and I actually didn't hate the interface of the dashboard or anything like that. And while the service overall worked decently well, I did find the screenshot feature, however, or rather the screenshots that Optery sends to you of the data that they found, to not always be correct, like I mentioned earlier, at least not for my profile. This tells me that Optery doesn't really double check the screenshots that they send you, and sometimes, or rather they will send you some nonsense where any sane person would just say, hold up, that doesn't really match up with the profile that is described by the user. So in conclusion, Incogni versus Optery, which is the better personal information removal service? That's a mouthful. I think the final answer here is rather complicated, as both services do offer unique features. Incogni is great as it covers all types of data brokers like people search sites, marketing data brokers, risk mitigation data brokers, recruitment data brokers, and even financial data brokers. That's a lot of data brokers. And any Incogni plan that you sign up for guarantees that it will automatically cover over 420 brokers in total, which is quite a lot. And the more expensive plans are just there too if you need the custom removals feature. So while Optery overall has a broader broker coverage, it ultimately and unfortunately mostly only covers people search sites and marketing data brokers. But one thing that Optery does have that Incogni doesn't is that free plan. That is a great feature to have, and it lets just about anyone to dabble in personal information removal services completely for free. Though do keep in mind that you'll still need to do a lot of work yourself to have an effect on your privacy, because you do have to still do those manual requests and talk to the data brokers directly yourself. Incogni, on the other hand, offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so in a way you can try it out completely risk-free and get your money back within that 30-day window. At the end of the day, what do you want from a personal information removal service? What benefits do you expect to gain? For me, it's all about less of my data being out there online, and preferably as a result of that, getting fewer or no spam calls, messages, and emails, and fewer scammers trying to contact me. Of course, that's just one side of why you might be looking to get such a service. The other side might be that you're looking to reduce your risks of falling victim to stalking, identity theft, increased increased insurance rates or doxing. And for all of that, I just feel like Incogni is an overall better service, just because it does cover more data broker types, so it ends up being a better one-size-fits-all solution. By the way, if you're wondering how Incogni compares to Delete Me, another very popular personal information removal service, go watch this video next where we do exactly that, compare Incogni and Delete Me. But that'll be all for me. Take care.